You know, I don't know how they came up with that music, but I'm vibing, yo. That music is a vibe. So your boy is out here vibing. But yeah, baby, we back in the building. What is up, people? Happy New Year, man. Happy New Year to y'all. What's going on? We are here on the second day of January 2026. It is kind of crazy that we have yet again turned over a new year. But I appreciate all of y'all who find your way to this live stream. Appreciate those of you all who catch the replay. But what's up, people? This your boy Vyyyper, the man about tech, back again for another video. And it happens to be my 8th YouTube anniversary. And it, bro, how did we get here? Where did the time go? I cannot believe that I have been on this platform for 8 years. Now, actually, yesterday was the anniversary, but we're here today, damn it. We're here today. So we're going to celebrate like it today, even though technically it was yesterday. But still, 8 years on YouTube. Like, damn. I feel like it was just yesterday where I uploaded my first video back in 2018. And now here we are, 4 or 5 channels later, 8 years later, still doing the YouTube thing. But yeah, man. I've been on here for 8 years. I think I've had now four YouTube channels, I think, at some point. I don't know. Still coming here. And the beautiful thing about being a content creator for 8 years is that you all are what make it worthwhile. You all are the reason why I keep coming back year after year, because when I hit that button, when I hit go live, y'all show up and show out. And I appreciate y'all so much, man. I appreciate y'all. But before we get started with tonight's festivities, let me see who I got in the chat tonight. Jimmy Fire Dragon. What's up, Jimmy? How you doing, man? Got here early, I see. Good to see you, my dude. Hopefully you are doing well. I see we got, is that a fan? That might be Marcus fan. Marcus, what's up, bro? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. We got Jonathan Honeywell. Oh, my Lord. That is a name that I have not seen in a long time. But what's up, Jonathan? Good to see you, man. Hopefully you are doing well. We got my dude Joe out here, Bite J. What's up, Joe? How you doing, man? Good to see you in the cut. Brian Tech. What's up, Brian? How you doing, Brian? I was just watching your video earlier about the Phone Rebel Gen 7, man, because I've been thinking about getting that case. I watched T video, and then I saw your video came up in my recommendations. So I watched your video. Well done, by the way. But yeah, I'll watch one of your videos, Brian. So good job on the content creation, my guy. Keep up the good work for sure. We got Antron out here. What's up, Antron? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. Appreciate you being here, my dude. And did I get any? Maybe I thought I got Andy, but maybe I missed Andy. But Andy, what's up, man? How you doing, sir? Appreciate you. Thank you for being here, my guy. Hopefully you're doing well. I thought I got you, but here you are, Andy, in the building. What's going on? So what are we doing tonight? That's a good question. What are we doing tonight? I don't know. We're not going to be here too long tonight, but I figured I would come on here and talk about my 8 years being a content creator, what I learned, different things like that. What type of advice I can pass down to you all, because a lot of you all in the chat are creators yourself. So whatever I've learned over the past 8 years, hopefully it's something that you could take and use for your own content creation journey. If not, that's cool too. Also, I want to talk about the situation that just came up to my attention yesterday with Sam Kohl of Apple Track. You might know him as iUpdate, but he put out a video yesterday called Apple is Upset with Me. And I watched the video, and I got some thoughts I want to put out there. So I'll get into that before we get out of here for sure. Definitely want to talk about that situation, because that is a unique situation that I definitely want to approach and cover with you all tonight. Because, I got a lot of questions about that. Not that I got questions. Nobody was asking me questions. I myself have questions about that particular situation. But anyway, back to the rub, bruh. 8 years, man. 8 years on the platform. So when I started back in 2018, bro, it was an incredible year for me as a content creator. That was my first time. Hey, is that Mary out there? I see Mary. Hey, Mary, how you doing? Appreciate you being here, Mary. Hello. Good evening. Long time no see, Mary. Hopefully you've been well. But y'all, that is Mary out there doing the art thing. So appreciate you being here. But 8 years, man. 8 years as a content creator. I mean, again, back when I started back in 2018, I had probably one of the best rookie seasons for a tech creator like ever, man. I got my content like acknowledged and shouted out by bigger creators like John Prosser of Front Page Tech. My man Drew over at Taylor Tech gave me a shout out and different things like that. I think, and that I didn't. Oh, I went out to. I won a trip to Vid Summit that year. That's right. That was the first time I went to Vid Summit because I won a contest, and because I won a contest, I was able to get out to Vid Summit. And being out in California, I actually met Jonathan Morrison in person, which is kind of crazy. So I went to go to his studio. Me and a few other creators went out to his studio, and it was crazy how advanced his equipment was and his process was for making videos. So it was cool to meet Jonathan Morrison in person. I've actually met him in person a couple of times. But shout out to my man Jonathan. Hopefully, I know he's been going through a lot of health stuff. So hopefully he's getting better out there. But it was cool to meet Jonathan Morrison, man. And yeah, I remember back in my first year, I hit 1,000 subscribers in the first, I think in the 7 months. So from my first upload in January of 2018, by July, Yeah, by July, I had 1,000 subscribers doing tech content. So it was pretty cool, man. It was pretty cool the ride that I was on. Again, ended up going to Vid Summit, meeting a bunch of creators in person and different things like that. So it was crazy. But here we are all the way 8 years later, and what a journey it has been. A lot of you all have been here along the way for the ride for these 8 years. Y'all know we've had some giants of the tech space and the creative space in general on the channel. We've had people on the channel like Marquette Brownlee been here. Flossie Carter has been on the channel. I Justine has been on the channel. Austin Evans has been on the channel. Soldier No Best has been on the damn channel. Gerald Undone, Taylor the Tech has been on the channel. My man El Jefe been here. Had a lot of people on the channel at one point or another, yo. Just being here, chatting with your boy. Technically T comes over. Roberto Blake's been here. Like, I mean, bro, it's so many names. Sarah Dietschy been on the channel. I mean, it's been so many names. I can't even keep track anymore of how many creators have been on the channel at one point or another. But it goes to show you what can happen and what is possible in the creative space with the creators that I have like had on the channel at one point or another over the past 8 years. It's always like it's almost like one of those TV shows, right? Where the TV show becomes so great and it's all so long that it has like every guest star appearance and then mama like, how all the great shows it happens with like MacGyver, the great shows had a lot of guests, Law and Order, Criminal Minds, like all of these great shows that end up having all these guest appearances. Friday Night Vyyyper has been a lot like that, yo. Me being here 8 years and being a creator on this particular channel, a lot of guest appearances over the years, man. And appreciate all of them taking out the time to, give me their time because creators are busy as hell, especially the bigger creators that are doing this as a full-time business. They have given me sometimes an hour, 2 hours, a few hours. Hell, Flossie Carter gave me 7 hours of his time when he was here. So can you imagine how crazy that is? I was on a live stream with Flossie Carter on the channel for 7 hours, yo. Like, how? I don't even how. That was just crazy. But it wasn't just me and Flossie Carter. It was me, Flossie Carter, and like 4 or 5 other creators that were hanging out for 7 hours here one day or one night. Kind of crazy. But yeah, that's the type of stuff that's been happening on the channel over the years, man. And again, if you missed any of that stuff and you think I'm lying, just go check the channel history, yo. Just go check the channel. You can do a search for any of the people I named on the channel and you'll find them. They're on there somewhere. But yeah, it's been cool being here and being around for that type of content and those type of collaborations and different things of that nature for 8 years. And the number one question that I've probably gotten throughout my creator career as it relates to all of that stuff, right? Vyyyper, how did you get so-and-so on your channel? I used to get that question a lot back in 2020 because I was doing it like on a weekly basis back in 2020 because obviously we were all at home during the pandemic and it was easy as hell to get creators to come on the channel because we were all at home just chilling. But question I got all the time, Vyyyper, how did you get such and such on your channel? And basically I just reached out. But I always try to tell people that it's not only about reaching out. It's about wanting to build a genuine relationship with these people, not just doing it as a transaction, Again, I don't talk to Marquette Brownlee a lot, but he's been on this channel more times than I can count. But when Lamar Wilson passed away last week, I reached out to Marquez just to make sure that he was all right. You know, I was like, yo, just reaching out to see how you doing, making sure you're all right. A lot of us have been affected by Lamar Wilson's passing and different things like that. So me and him had a couple of messages back and forth about that. So it was just cool to touch base with him. Again, I don't talk to him a lot. I mean, that was probably the first time we talked in a few years when I reached out to him a few days ago. But we had a couple of messages back and forth just to make sure that he was all right. And that was it, you know? So yeah, just like, you know, keeping in touch with people and not trying to use people just because they're bigger and you want to like leech off their subscriber count or whatever. Like, I've never really been about that here. I've always been about just bringing people here and having genuine, passionate conversations about technology. And it's been pretty cool for the past 8 years I've been doing it. Who else we got out here? We got Vyyyper. What's up, Vyyyper? Happy New Year to you too. Appreciate you being here. My man Dennis Carlson checking in from Sweden. Dennis, what's up, man? Appreciate you. My enforcer, Janosis, is in the cut. What's up, Janosis? How you doing, man? Appreciate you. Hopefully you are doing well, my guy. But yeah, just reaching out to people. I've talked to Justine a few times in the past week after Lamar passed, because, you know, she reached out to me because she wanted me to participate in a tribute to him and different things like that. And also, she invited me on a video call that other creators were having about, you know, dealing with his passing and the way that he passed. So shout out to Justine for thinking about me during that time. I appreciate her doing that. So yeah, it's just like when you have genuine relationship with people, like it just goes deeper than, you know, just making videos and trying to collab and, you know, building up your subscriber count and different things like that. Because we all want to grow. We all want to build these channels to something sustainable and, you know, mega and different things like that. And y'all know me, I've never had the biggest channel in the world. Hell, I've never had a channel past 6,000 subscribers before. The old channel, the first channel, Vyyyper, got 6,000, but then I deleted that channel because it had that algorithmic anomaly and it kind of just stunted my growth. I said, the hell with it, I started over and I deleted the Vyyyper channel. But even though I've never been like the biggest creator number-wise, y'all know, man, my impact in the tech space has been felt far and wide, way beyond subscriber count. Again, I just gave y'all a list of names that's been on the channel at one point or another just because they know what I do and they rock with me and what I've done on the tech space. So it's pretty cool, man. But if you want to collab with a bigger creator as a smaller creator, you have to make it as easy for the bigger creator as you possibly can. Know what you want them to do, explain what you want them to do, and you know, if you got to go into the wire, you want them to do whatever, do that. But you want to put them in a position where they don't say no. You want to put them in a position where it's actually no, that's a bad way to word it. What you want to do is put them in a position where it's easy for them to say yes. That's what I really meant. I didn't mean like the other way. It sounded kind of stalkerish. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to be stalking people that's just bad. But what you want to do is put them in a position where they have a high probability of saying yes. And that basically means making it for as easy for them as possible. Because a lot of creators reach out to bigger creators and they just be like, I want to collab. Okay, what does that mean? Like, what do you want? What do you need from them, right? Like, I want to collab. It's cool, but what do you want them to do? Like, how does that collab work? What is your vision for that collab? So you got to get deep into this. When you want to collab with a bigger creator, you got to have a plan, man. You got to have an action plan. You know, I kind of sound like I'm your boss at a 9 to 5, but this is what it is. You got to have an action plan if you want to collab with a bigger creator because their time is valuable and it's limited. So you don't want to take up too much of their time if you can help it. You want to make it quick and painful, quickly and painless for them as possible to be able to honor that collab. When Justine reached out to me about being a part of the Lamar Wilson tribute video, she gave me a link and went to a page, and the page explained what she wanted and needed quick and succinctly. And I'm like, cool, I can do that, right? It wasn't no me wondering what I needed to do. The page explained what she wanted from everybody that she reached out to. She explained what she wanted. I read it. I understood it. I did it. Bam, we out of there. It was quick. It was easy. Like, that's what you got to do. When you want to collab, you better have a plan, and it better be pretty simple to execute for that other person involved. And more often than not, you're going to get the collab. But also, if you are a smaller creator and you're going to reach out to a bigger creator for a collab, make sure you have a body of work that when they go to look at you and your work, that you about that business, right? Because nobody wants to collaborate with somebody that could give them a bad look. So make sure that you're above board. Make sure that you're making content that's probably similar to their content You know, because why would I don't know? I'm not sure why you want to collab with somebody that doesn't make similar content to you, because that doesn't make sense. I mean, I know it happens from time to time, but if you're a smaller creator, if you're trying to collab with a bigger creator, it should probably make sense that your content is similar. I'm just saying. But again, make sure your content is similar. Make sure you have a body of work that they can look at, and you know they can respect that. Okay, this dude is about that business. Because one of the big reasons why I got the collabs that I got, but because when they came to my channel, they're like, oh, that dude is uploading consistently. He has a style that I can rock with. He's making quality content. Yeah, we can collab. Oh, and he's being respectful about how he reaches out for the collab. So those are just a few tips about smaller creators trying to collab with bigger creators. As a person that's done this numerous occasions now, I'm like the expert in this field, especially for tech YouTube. I am like that guy. But hopefully that helps some of y'all who want to collab with bigger creators in your creator future. Just think about some of the things that I put out there for you all. If you got questions, let me know. You know how to find me. I'm on Twitter usually every day, so find me on Twitter. If you got questions, hit me up. I will be glad to help you with that. If you need questions answered about how to reach out to bigger creators for collabs, I got you, man. I will try to point you in the right direction or try to give you some tips about how to get that done. The other thing about being a creator for 8 years is consistency. Now, I have been admittedly pretty terrible with this, especially as it relates to this channel lately. But there was a time here where I was here every Friday night without fail. And that happened for years. Like probably for a span of 5-6 years, I was here every Friday night without fail. There were very few Friday nights where I was not here. So if you want to build an audience, you have to be consistent in your content schedule, your upload schedule, your live streaming schedule, whatever the case may be. You got to be consistent. That does not mean you have to go every day. That's craziness. Only the crazy people go every day. Not saying that you can't do that, but that is very difficult to sustain. And I have done it before. I have uploaded a video every day for a month before. I've done it a few times. It is absolutely asinine. I would not recommend it to anybody, but I'm telling you, it is possible. But just because something is possible doesn't mean you should go out there and do it. So I would not recommend you go every day, but you can if that's something that you really want to do. But I wouldn't recommend it because that will lead to burnout pretty quickly. But consistency is what it is. Whatever you can fit into your schedule, that's how you got to measure your consistency. Like if you can upload once a week, that's fine. Just make sure you're uploading that one time each and every week. If it's 2 or 3 times a week, that's cool. Just making sure you can upload 2 or 3 times every single week without fail. But whatever that you decide, you have to be consistent. And as long as you're consistent, the rest will take care of itself, literally. But just be consistent and you're good to go. Roberto said consistency without clarity is meaningless. Yeah. Obviously, you got to have a message about what you want to do and whatnot. But yeah, consistency is paramount here as a content creator. You got to have that. You got to have the consistency for sure. Also, don't forget to have fun, man. A lot of times we're chasing numbers, we're chasing algorithms and different things like that. But ultimately, you got to have fun. You have to enjoy what you do as a content creator. If you don't enjoy what you do, you are going to lose interest very quickly. Lately, I mean, sometimes, you know, when you're like trying to meal prep and different things like that, and you're eating the same thing every single day, it can get boring pretty quickly, right? That's why you have to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy making the content that you're doing on a consistent basis, you're not going to last long. So you better make sure that you're having fun, you're enjoying it, and you're trying to get better each and every day. You're trying to be 1% better each and every day. And you're not. It's not about trying to make like crazy leaps every day. But if you are trying to be 1% better every single day, at the end of a year, that adds up. It adds up a lot. So take your wins, celebrate your wins, but yeah, just try to be 1% better every day, and the rest will take care of itself. Like you will notice, you will look back on your past uploads and you will see how far you have come as a content creator. I remember it doesn't really exist. Actually, it might be on the channel. I think I did a live stream a few years ago, reacted to my very first video on YouTube. I think that's on here on the channel. Again, the channel has been deleted, but that first video should be a reaction video on this channel somewhere. But I remember my first upload 8 years ago compared to the stuff that I put out like now or recently, and it's night and day, man. I am not the creator that I was 8 years ago. Thank God. Because that guy was boring as hell. If you could believe it or not, 8 years ago, Vyyyper was boring as hell. Like I was monotone. I had no energy. I was lacking confidence. It was terrible. I don't even know how that guy got allowed to upload anything to YouTube at that point. It was bad, man. But the more I did it, the more confidence I got, the better my delivery became, the more confident I became, and the content was better for it. But that didn't happen. That would not have happened, excuse me, if I didn't upload like every day or every week or whatever the case may be. I was consistent with it and I got better. I'm not putting myself down, bro. I'm just telling you the reality of it all. I was terrible. My first video was garbage, fam. Compared to what I do now, my first video was garbage as hell. I think any creator worth their salt will tell you when they look back on their first videos now, their first videos are garbage compared to what they're doing now. I think that's true of all creators, yo. The first video that you do is not what is terrible because you don't know. And when you don't know, you don't know, yo. You don't know. So my first video was garbage, but obviously I got better and the content improved. I got better equipment. I got more confidence and we went up. We were on the come up, bro. We were on the come up. Joe said, Vyyyper got so confident that the algorithm said slow down. Right? You're right. Wait, is that my guy? That's my guy. Yo, El Jefe, what's up, bro? Look at El Jefe with the new profile picture looking like a monster, bro. What's up, Jefe? How you doing, man? Good to see you, bro. Hopefully you're doing well, man. My man El Jefe's in the building, bro. That's my head of security right there. But yeah, right? 8 years, bro. 8 years. I think Jeff has been making videos like 1 year longer than I have. So I think he's been doing it for like 9 years. But damn, Jefe, though, we've been doing it for almost a decade, my guy. Crazy. Like, damn. Woo. No, it's all good, man. It's all good. But yeah, I'm just being real, yo. My first video was trash compared to what I do today. So, but again, that took time. It took repetition. It took learning from my mistakes and getting better. As a content creator, if you want to improve, you have to be self-aware. Or actually not or, you have to be self-aware, and it's helpful if you have some type of friend group or accountability group that you surround yourself with that will give you the real and tell you what you need to improve on. I'll give you a perfect example. Jeff is in the chat tonight. El Jefe, my guy. I have known Jeff since I became a creator almost 10 years ago, right? So I remember it was like 5 or 6 years ago, I put out a video and Jeff must have looked at my thumbnail, right? And he hit me up in a DM. He yo, Vyyyper, you need to make this thumbnail bigger. It's too small. I mean, now you got somebody that's coming in your DM telling you that your thumbnail needs work, right? Now, there's one or two ways to react to that. I could have got mad at Jeff. I'm like, bro, why you trying to hate on my thumbnail, right? No, I never took it like that. I looked at it myself and I'm like, damn, he's right. It is too small. So I went back, I made it bigger and it looked better for it. And I thank Jeff for that advice because he was on point. And you know, it's something that is the advice that stick with me even today. Like when I make a thumbnail today, I always think about that advice from Jeff. Make sure it's big enough to where it can be seen at a small scale because you don't know where somebody's watching your video from. They could be watching your video from a mobile phone. They could be watching your video from a tablet or a TV, but the thumbnail still needs to be big enough to be identified or easily identifiable. So that's advice that I will never forget that Jeff gave me all those years ago about making my thumbnail bigger. Like, and that's what I'm talking about, right? Having people in your corner that will give you that type of feedback and not sugarcoat things for you. You don't want a bunch of yes men and women around you, yo. That's not how you grow as a content creator. You got to have people that are going to be willing to give you the real. And when you have those people in place, bruh, it is a beautiful thing. All right, who we got? We got who is this? Cashman woke up. Then started rewatching the Roberto Blake collab from 3 to 5 years ago. He's been very busy last year, so I don't blame him. He's had enough passive income. Oh yeah, Roberto's been busy. He's always busy, bro. But yeah, Roberto, he's the real deal. Yo, Roberto's the real deal. That dude is legit. He can definitely teach you some things about, you know, the collab game and different things like that for sure. Let's see. Oh yeah, I've been good, bro. I appreciate you, man. I've been doing my thing, bro. We got two youngest. What's up, man? Appreciate you, bro. How you doing, man? Appreciate you being here. Happy New Year to you. But yeah. So Janota says, what is the biggest criticism on average for a new creator Is it mic, quality, thumbnail, etc.? Newer, biggest criticism. Um, for a newer creator, it's a couple of things to me, and it's probably going to be anything from audio to lighting, basically. Um, a lot of creators don't realize that it's not necessarily the camera that you're using, but the lighting that is messing up your video. Lighting is very important, and how you light yourself is critical. Um, if you are filming by a window and it's sunny out there outside that day, the sun ray will literally mess up your video because you'll have rays in the content in the frame, and if you don't do something about the sun, your video is trash. Or it could be trash. Or if it's sunny outside, it will overlight you, and then your video blowing out because you got too much light. So lighting and audio is probably the biggest trip up for a newer creator, in my opinion. A lot of people are using onboard microphones. Like when I first started out, I was using an iPad, right? So my iPad that I was using, I didn't have a microphone at the time. I was using the microphone on the iPad. And back then, before Apple got fancy with them, the microphones on the iPad were trash. And again, it was a thing where another creator came into I was in Roberto Blade's Discord, and one of my creator friends hit me up in a DM in that Discord. He was like, "Yo, Vyyyper, I love your content, but your audio sounds like you're underwater." So I'm like, damn. But again, I didn't get mad. I went back and I listened to the audio, right? And I'm like, damn, he has a point. So what did I do? I went out that weekend and I brought a Blue Yeti microphone, my first ever external microphone. Because again, like I told y'all, up until that point, I was using the internal microphone on the iPad. But when that creator told me that my audio sounded garbage, I went out and I brought the Blue Yeti, the famous YouTube microphone. And the rest is history, yo. So ever since then, I've been using external microphones. I went from a Blue Yeti. I think I went from the Blue Yeti to a HyperX V or whatever the hell it was. Then I went to a Shure. The Shure I'm using here now. I've been using this microphone for, I think, 6 years? Or I think, no, 7 years now. I've been using this microphone for 7 years. So yeah. Lighting and audio probably the biggest trip up for a newer creator, in my opinion. But if you get criticized for that stuff, don't take it personally. Go back, listen to the content, and if you feel like you agree with that criticism, then go do something about it. Because I think, a lot of times we get the wrong idea about other creators on YouTube, that we feel like other creators are competition. But a lot of times, if you're around the right people, they don't view you in competition because we're all trying to accomplish the same thing. We're all trying to make sure that we are putting out the best quality videos. So other creators might hit you up trying to help you because there is a difference between constructive criticism and then negativity and trolling you. And I think we're all adults here, so we can tell when somebody's giving up constructive criticism or if it's just somebody being trolly and negative for the hell of it. And the feedback I got from El Jefe and the other guy in the DMs, that was constructive criticism that I used to become a better creator. And I appreciate them for that. All right, back to the comments here. Let's see. Austin Tech, what's up, Austin? How you doing, man? Appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, man. 8 years being a tech content creator. Actually, I've really made a tech video. I've made a tech video probably I've made a tech video over a year, I think. The last video that I made about tech was back when the iPhone 16e was announced. If most of y'all know, I've been making sports videos for the last year or so about the Chicago Bears. I've kind of gotten out of the tech space a little bit, even though I do come here to chat with y'all about tech every now and then. But as far as making tech videos on a regular basis, I don't even do that anymore. But yeah, the last tech video I made was about the iPhone 16e. Ooh, that was a long time ago. That was a while ago. Oh my goodness. All right, Hefe says, aside from tech and gear, new creators need to focus on the importance of knowing their target audience, fact, and how to speak to them. Knowing your target audience leads to better video ideas, title, and thumbnails. Oh my Lord. Yo, he ain't never lied. Also, El Jefe is a YouTube coach with vidIQ, so he would know. But he ain't never lied, man. Knowing your target audience is such a key thing. And actually, I'll give y'all this. That's probably the biggest mistake I made when I first started 8 years ago, not having a target audience. When I first started out, I knew I wanted to make tech videos, but I didn't really niche down, as the kids say, right? I was making videos about Apple, Samsung, Google, whatever, right? I didn't have a focus back when I started 8 years ago. But then as I got more into the game and I started to realize that I was doing things a little bit too broadly, that's when I focused down to making Apple focused content. And that's when, things kind of took off when I figured out what the hell I was trying to do, right? So to El Jefe's point, fam, know your target audience, know who you're talking to. And here's the thing that a lot of newer creators don't like it, but it's the truth. You cannot reach everybody. And what I mean by that is that when you make content, there's no such thing as making a video that everybody's going to like. You are going to make a video that somebody's not going to like. You have to learn to accept that, because then you can focus your content on who it is that you're trying to target. As El Jefe said, your target audience. So I knew that, making videos about Apple would alienate people that like Android. And I had to be okay with that. You can't talk to everybody. There's the saying, right? How the saying goes, you could be a jack of all trades or master of none. Like the jack of all trades thing does not work on YouTube. Unless you're like big already, unless you've been doing it before YouTube became like this computerized thing, you cannot be a jack of all trades on this platform in 2026. It ain't gonna work. That shit don't work, fam. I'm sorry. Use my language. It ain't gonna work. So you have to figure out what lane that you need to be in and stick in that lane. Now, are there opportunities to like veer outside that lane every now and then? Yes. But when you're first starting out, you need to stay in that lane until you build an audience to a point where you can kind of veer out of that lane. But the lane has to be the lane. Like what's the saying now? You got to keep the main thing, man. And a lot of creators, they get so, they don't want to be pigeonholed. They don't want to be put in a box. But on this platform in particular, on YouTube, you got to stay in the box, fam. If you go outside the box, you don't grow. And you got to think about it like this. It kind of makes sense, right? We got Dunkin' Donuts, we got Starbucks, we got McDonald's, right? Do you go into Starbucks for a donut? Because I don't. Do you go to McDonald's for a coffee? I don't. Do you go to what's the other thing? I don't know. But y'all know what I'm saying. Starbucks became Starbucks because they focused on coffee. And then when they made the best coffee in the world, they were able to, expand out a little bit. McDonald's focused on burgers in the beginning, and they made the best burgers to a point where they were able to branch out all those years later, right? So keep the main thing the main thing. Then maybe if you do it for long enough and you become good enough, you could branch out a little bit. But you got to keep the main thing the main thing. It's how Nike became Nike. It's how Apple became Apple. It's how Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts became what they became. You got to keep the main thing, bro. That's as simple as I can tell you. And if you don't like that, this is not for you. I mean, actually, no, I would take it back. If you don't like that, then you can still do what you want. Don't expect to grow because you're not going to grow. It's just that simple. All right, let's see. So we got buy further since I want to review fast food and chain restaurants. Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. You can absolutely do that. Just make sure if you start to do that, stay in that lane. And Janosen brings up a great example about Marquez, right? Marquez Brownlee can literally do whatever he wants on his main YouTube channel at this point. At this point, the rules don't apply to him. But what did he do? He likes cars. He has a passion for cars. But he tried to do it on his main channel and it didn't work. So what did he do? He made a dedicated auto channel where he now talks about cars on his autofocus YouTube channel, and it's growing and it's doing well. But he could not do that on his main channel because that was not how he built that audience. And again, Marquez Brownlee, MKBHD, is at a point where he can do whatever the hell he wants. He has 20 million subscribers, but he tried and he failed. It didn't work. So he made a dedicated channel for cars. So if Marquez can't do it, you damn sure can't do it. Again, some of y'all might be mad at me about that, but I'm just trying to be real with y'all. Again, I've been on this bad boy for 8 years, okay? You can do with this information what you will. I'm just telling you, if you try to do this variety content, it ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. All right, let's see. Let me see who else down here. Be going. Janelle says, Vyyyper, I disagree. I think Marquez can do what he wants on his own, but he can't do what he wants with his business. Hence why it's the same difference. The same thing. Like the channel is a business. And if you want to build your business the right way, there are rules that you need to follow. So Janelle, I think we're talking about the same thing, my guy. He could not do car content consistently on that channel. So he made a new channel for the car content. And kudos to him. Again, he's crushing it over there. The autofocus channel is doing well. But he could not do that at the level that he wanted to do it and keep that content on the main channel. It was just not going to work. So he made he made a dedicated channel for that, and it's doing well. Let's see. Joseph, smart move by Marquez to use that car channel to take cameras he's reviewing. Actually, yeah, you're right. Because on the autofocus channel, he's using different smartphone cameras to do the filming. So yeah, he can definitely do that for sure. Absolutely. All right, Cash, welcome to, in the long run, a creator gets more discipline from YouTube than they get at a 9-to-5 or even college. Oh yeah, YouTube will definitely teach you and train you on discipline if you don't understand it already. And my favorite saying is discipline over motivation. And that is especially true on YouTube. You have got to be disciplined to do the work to grow a channel on YouTube. If you don't have the discipline that is needed to grow your channel, you are not going to succeed on the platform. It is that simple. It ain't gonna work. So you gotta be disciplined in what you're doing, and you have to be intentional as well. It's not just about being disciplined. You have to be intentional about what you're doing on YouTube. To El Jefe's point earlier, know your target audience. Know what you're trying to do, right? Because if you don't, it's not gonna be a good look. So you gotta know what you're gonna do. You gotta know what you're gonna do. All right. Next up, I want to talk about this Sam Kohl situation that with the video that he made yesterday, with Apple being upset with him, right? If you haven't watched the video, I would suggest you go watch the video. Let me bring this in real quick. We're not gonna watch it here, but I'll give you guys like an overview. And if y'all don't know who I'm talking about, I'm gonna put him in here and right now. So I'm talking about that guy, Sam Kohl. Is his actual name. I think that's public knowledge. But he goes by Apple Trash. He used to be iUpdate, right? But he made this video yesterday. Apple is upset with me. So if you're not familiar with what's going on here, I will give you the clip notes and then we'll talk about it, right? So let me see if I can break this down. How I'm gonna break this down. So Sam Kohl had a brand reach out to him. And apparently this brand reached out to them because they were going to launch a product in the Apple store, or they were going to launch a product that they were going to sell inside of an Apple store or Apple stores in general, right? So what they wanted from Sam was on that launch day, they wanted him inside of the Apple store to film a video talking about the product that the brand was going to launch. Now, very important to note here, right? This is a brand, not Apple, some other brand that I guess was selling product inside of an Apple store reached out to Sam to do a video of Sam shooting inside of an Apple store talking about their product. But okay, so you got all that, right? So that's the general gist, right? So Sam agreed to it because the money that they were paying him was good. Everything seemed to be above board. He said he got on Zoom calls, talked to the brand, different things like that. So on the day that he went to the Apple store and tried to do the filming, he tried to connect. He connected with the store employees and the store managers, right? But when he connected with the store employees and the manager, nobody knew anything about this project that was happening. Nobody knew anything, right? So to make a long story short, the filming never happened because Apple the communication between Sam and the people in the Apple store is that they had no knowledge of the project and they were not going to allow him to film in their store. So the filming did not happen. Now, between all of that, Sam's communication back and forth between him and the brand, trying to figure out why this didn't happen. Apparently, the brand had some type of email dialogue with Apple, and apparently Apple had came back and told the brand that Sam was being a disturbance in the Apple store and different things like that, even though Sam was just standing there waiting for the Apple employees to get back to him or whatever. Sam stated that he never filmed anything or anything like that, so he doesn't understand how he would be a disturbance and different things like that. Here's where I want to talk to y'all, or here's what I want to talk to y'all about tonight, right? Okay, so the moment that this video starts and he breaks down the situation, I got like 1,000 red flags. It is red flag city, fam. And maybe it's just because I kind of have an idea of how Apple operates because I have friends that have done deals with Apple and I've seen how they operate in the creative space. But the moment the video starts and he tells the story, there are red flags everywhere for me. And the number one red flag I have is this. Have any of you all, and please let me know, because I don't know, but please let me know in the chat. Have any of you all ever seen a creator do a deal, or not deal, seen a creator do a video filming inside of an Apple store talking about a non-Apple product? Have you ever seen it? Because I have not. It is weird to me that Apple would be okay with allowing a content creator to come into an Apple store to film a product that's not even an Apple product. Like, where do they? Apple doesn't do that. Never. I have never seen it. So that's red flag number one. Red flag number two, well, actually, I shouldn't say it's a red flag. A mistake on Sam's part, in my opinion, and Sam's watching, so it didn't get back to him. I'm not trying to be rude, dude, but we can all learn from this. But my message to Sam would be, how in the world did you not get any confirmation from anybody on Apple's side, like the store manager or the Apple PR people, before you went to the store that day? Or maybe you thought you would get the confirmation on that day. Either way, I'm not sure why you handled it that way. I would have got the confirmation before going into the store. Because, again, you don't want to get there. Because here's my thing. I don't want to waste time going somewhere where I'm not wanted, right? So if you don't have confirmation from Apple that this is okay, why even show up to the store? That confirmation should be had before you ever walk into the store. Like, you should have like email from Apple employees and different things like that stating that, yes, they are aware of this project and you are okay to come to the store on day and time to do the filming. That should be hammered down before you ever leave your house to go to that store for that filming project. Like, that should not be something that you confirm on the day. Like, on the day, you show up and you do the project and you leave. It's not, oh, I'm going to confirm that this is happening on the day. That's craziness. Like, why? How? Who does that? Like, that's crazy to me. Like, that's not how you do business, man. That's bad business. The moment you did not get a confirmation from anybody in Apple should have told you that this is not a good thing. This is not okay. Like, because you cannot film in an Apple store without Apple's permission explicitly. I don't care who it is. I don't care if you're Justine or Brian Tong or anybody. And they got the permission to film in Apple stores. You cannot film in an Apple store without Apple's permission. It doesn't matter what brand it is or what they're doing. It's irrelevant. You need Apple permission to film in their store because normally they don't allow it. So again, I ask y'all, have you ever seen a content creator film inside of an Apple store talking about a non-Apple brand? Now here's the thing. I have seen Justine and Brian Tong do videos inside of an Apple store. But normally that's because they are working directly with Apple to celebrate a grand opening, or I think maybe it was the launch of the Vision Pro. But special major Apple events, yes, they will allow content creators to film in their stores. But we're talking about major creators that have been doing it for a while, like Justine and Brian Tong and Andrew Edwards, people like that, right? That have the relationship with Apple. Maybe if Marquez wants to do it, he would do it, but I doubt he would ever do it. But if Marquez wanted to do it, I'm pretty sure they would let him. But we talk about that type of, those are the type of creators that will do that stuff, right? But again, if you're filming inside of an Apple store, it's probably because Apple directly is handling the whole filming and project. Because we know how tight Apple is about everything PR related, right? Anything that is about Apple product or service that is going on the internet, they got the clamps on, fam. They control everything. Nothing is approved without Apple PR say so. So the moment that Sam never got the say so from Apple PR should have been the biggest red flag of all time. Like, dude should have had the alarm bell going off like, bro, if Apple didn't approve this, if I don't get direct confirmation from Apple, we not going anywhere. But for whatever reason, he never did that. And I don't understand. So my question to Sam is, now actually, no, let me show y'all, because I've talked to Sam. We talked about this on Twitter real quick. So I'll show y'all what he told me, right? Because my question is, was the brand legit? Because it doesn't seem like something that a legit brand would do, especially as it relates to Apple, because Apple doesn't work that way. But I'm gonna show y'all what Sam told me. So I say, so I made this tweet, right? Let me, is it on here? Let me put the tweet on here. All right, let me see if I can make this bigger for y'all. Give me a second here. We're gonna go in here. We're gonna make this bigger so y'all can read it. Hopefully, might not be the best. Oh, I don't think I can do this when the thing is on. Hold on. No, it's not working. Damn. Hold on. Give me a second, y'all. Let me stop sharing. So I make this bigger. No, why is it not working? Damn. Hold on, y'all. Should have took care of it before I Okay, there we go. All right. Here we go. Okay, cool. All right, so let's try this again. Okay, so I got it now. So yeah, I'll show y'all the dialogue between me and Sam real quick. Let me put it back in here. Select, share screen. All right, so here we go. So I put this tweet out there, right, about this video. So the tweet says, so I just watched this video now and I have questions, and I tagged Sam. My main question is, was this brand a legit brand? The whole thing sounds weird to me. Again, why would Apple allow a brand, any brand, to have a creator publicly film it in one of their stores? Maybe it's happened before, I don't know, but it doesn't sound like something Apple would even allow. Gotta wonder if that brand ever made contact with Apple. And that's my main thing. My question is, because Sam said the brand was legit, right? Like, let me scroll down to what Sam told me. So this is Sam's response here, right? So Sam Smith obviously can't go into detail, but I'm 100% confident that the brand and deal were legit. We hopped on Zoom calls. They sent over detailed product decks, and the product came out in stores exactly when they said it was. I'm guessing word never got communicated to that store, but I still don't understand why Apple said what they said about my behavior. And that's going back to what Apple said about him being a disturbance, a nuisance, or whatever, right? Here's my thing. So Sam says that the brand is legit. Okay, cool. My thing is, I don't know if that brand ever communicated with Apple at all. And the emails that went back and forth between that brand and Apple that they share with Sam, those emails could have been doctored and fabricated for all I know. I don't know. But again, this is not something that Apple would do, y'all. Like, this is not Apple. Apple is not allowing a content creator to come into an Apple store and film and do filming about a product that's not Apple. No, they're not doing that. Also, the other red flag, which I kind of picked up on, it didn't occur to me until after the fact today, but the other red flag that kind of came to me after all of this kind of, I processed everything, is that Sam was there to do the filming during business hours. Sam, what? I'm sorry. There is no way in God's green hell that Apple is allowing a creator to film in an Apple store during business hours. If anything, they would allow the creator to come in there off hours. They're not allowing a creator to film during business hours because they don't want their customers disrupted. Because the other thing is that the customers have to be okay with being potentially on film, and y'all know that's a whole other can of worms that Apple is definitely not going to deal with. So why on God's green earth would Apple allow you to come into a store during business hours to film? The whole thing makes no damn sense, and I just don't understand how it got as far as it did. I'm sorry that Sam had to deal with it, but hopefully for him, this will be a learning experience. Again, there is no way that Apple is allowing you to film during business hours. That is too much of a liability. It doesn't make sense. So let me know how y'all feel about this in the chat. But me, the whole thing screamed red flag from jump, in my opinion, man. It's unfortunate that this happened. But on the cool side, though, he was pretty intelligent about it because he did not film at all. Because had he filmed, he could be held liable. But he didn't film. So kudos to him for not filming anything and ultimately not doing anything for that brand. But Sam, if you listen to this, like I said on Twitter, I would stay away from that brand for the rest of your creator career. Like that brand cannot be trusted at all. That brand is done. Like you and that brand should be done. Finished. Finito. Nah. No more, bro. No more. Who is he putting on blast though? He didn't name the brand or anything. Are you saying that he put Apple on blast? I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even know. I mean, if you watch the video, I don't even know if he's saying that I don't even know if he's putting Apple on blast. He basically just told the story of how, there was a miscommunication. I don't feel like he put Apple on blast, but I don't know. Ultimately, I mean, to be truthful, I think I feel the way about anytime creators have issues with brands. I'm not sure that your channel is a place for that video. Making a public video about a brand, any brand, as it relates to a situation like this, it's not really for public consumption. Like, it's not something that you make a video about and put on your channel. Like, it's just not. That's not the way I would handle it. Although, sometimes you got to put people on blast in public, as El Jefe would tell you. We're not gonna name names, but there was a time back in the day where El Jefe had to put somebody on blast, and it didn't work to his benefit because then things started happening. Sometimes, so every now and then you got to put somebody on blast. But normally I would not advise it. But I don't think he was putting Apple on blast in this situation. But I don't know. That's just my opinion. Yo, Slang, what's up, bro? How you doing, my dude? Good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. Appreciate you. And yeah, you're right. We're only hearing this side of the story. And we're not going to get any more out of it. Probably not. But I wonder what brand it was, to be honest with you. I want to know if it was a major brand. Was it like a small brand? I mean, obviously, if they're in an Apple store, they got to be in somewhat of a major brand. I just wonder what brand it was because this is kind of crazy. He's not going to tell me, but it's interesting. Joseph, he turned in a communication screw up into a manufacturer controversy for clicks. That's the thing, Joseph. It's not going to get him clicked. Like, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to give him clicks, though, because this is not the type of video that he normally does on the channel. And I don't know if we're going to give him clicks or not. So he has 400,000. I think what he has he has over 500,000 subscribers, right? And this video has like 100,000 views, whatever. So I mean, he got a few clicks, but ultimately, I don't know if we're going to give him the click that will garner him doing something like that. It ain't going to go viral for him because it's not normal content. So that's why I said that this type of stuff doesn't really need to be made into a video like this because you're not going to get the click that you think you would because it's not the type of content that your audience shows up for. Like, his audience doesn't care that Apple is upset with him. They care about his opinions about Apple products and services. That's what they come for. They don't come for controversy, in my opinion. That's not why they're there. So that's why I'm like, he's not going to get the click that you will get off of controversy because, again, that's not his audience. Let's see. Joseph says, I think Sam went off good faith from a reputable case brand. I mean, nothing you're saying is wrong, Vyyyper, but you can also understand Sam. I mean, I can understand him. I just don't know why this. I'm just not sure that this was the video that needs to be public. That's what I'm saying. I understand it, but the video didn't need to be public. And again, the other thing, like I said, is that it's red flags all over the place for me because you got Sam has been around long enough to know how. If I know how Apple is, Sam knows how Apple is. Okay, Sam has been a creator probably longer than I have. He understands how Apple operates. He knows that. He's not ignorant to this stuff. So you got to know the red flags, bro. You got to know the red flags. Joe says, also, Sam did explain how his and Apple's direct business relationship is rocky at best because of a channel. He went off a good faith with an intermediary party. That's the other thing. Like, you know damn well that Apple is not going to allow you to do anything knowing that how, like, that's the other thing, right? To your point, Sam knows better. Like I just said, Sam knows better. He knows the type of content that he makes, and he knows that content is not content that Apple approves of, right? And not only the other thing is that he has a direct relationship, or he had a direct relationship with John Prosser, who Apple is suing. Now, I'm not saying that Apple is going to put him and John Prosser in the same light, but when you're adjacent like that, they kind of might have that opinion of you, especially given the fact that you make content about Apple leaks. It's just, so what makes you think that they're going to allow you to come into a store and do filming? Like, again, I'm just ignorant, but oh man, I don't know, yo. Red flags, man. Red flag for me, bro. Red flag. Yo, Jay Boogie, what's up, man? How you doing, sir? Good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. Appreciate you being here. Why is this thing? Oh, y'all. Give me a second here. My headphones being weird, yo. I mean, damn. All right, much better. Okay. All right, Joe says, well, we wouldn't be talking about him now otherwise, so he's at least getting some publicity. Yeah, I mean a little bit, but what I'm talking about from his audience, like when he made that video for his channel per se, I don't know if he's going to get like 1 million views off of that video. I highly doubt it. Because again, like I said earlier, that's not the audience that he cultivated there. But it is a learning experience for all of us, and that's why I wanted to talk about it today. because as content creators, we have to understand and recognize the red flag when the brands reach out, right? Again, especially if we're talking about Apple, I think a lot of us have been around and covering Apple long enough to know how Apple operates as a business as it relates to content creators. And like the first thing that kind of went off as an alarm bell in my head is filming in an Apple store. Like Apple is now allowing a creator to film in an Apple store unless it is a direct project with Apple. They're not going to do that through an intermediary. I'm sorry. They're not doing that. Actually, no, let me take it back. They're not going, okay, that was wrong. They're not going to have a creator come into an Apple store and film content about a non-Apple product. That's what I meant to say. Because obviously Apple might work through intermediaries like to communicate and whatnot, right? I don't know if Apple directly communicating with creators in that way. They might have an agency or whatever that they work with, possibly. I don't know. But what I meant to say was that Apple is not going to allow a creator to come into an Apple store and do filming about a non-Apple product. It makes no sense. Do you know how much hubris Apple has? Do y'all know how arrogant Apple is? Do you know how much hubris Apple has? And you think that this company, Apple, the ones that have the reality distortion field, the ones that act like Android don't even exist, that Apple is going to allow you to walk into their store and film a product that doesn't have an Apple logo on it? Are you kidding me? Hell no, absolutely not. That's red flag number one. Like, what are we doing here? There's no way Apple's going to be okay with you filming a non-Apple product in an Apple store. What are we? No, fam. No, absolutely not. Nope. Nah, man. No. Apple will never allow it. Again, if we're talking about an Apple product itself, like an iPhone or an iPad or something like that, then yes, I can see Apple allowing a creator to film in store. But if we're talking about a non-Apple product, there's no way in hell. Not unless there's like some type of major partnership going on between Apple and that brand. And even still, I would be highly, highly suspicious of it. Right? Exactly. One pump review at the Apple store. Like, it will never happen. It will never happen, yo. Not at all. I mean, that's an extreme, but I'm talking about even stuff that is sold in the Apple store, like Belkin, right? So, they sell Mophie chargers in the Apple store. They sell Belkin stuff like that. Even those companies would not have a creator or would not be allowed to have a Sam Kohl go into an Apple store and film about those products. And Apple sells those products, but they still will not allow that type of content inside of an Apple store. I find it highly irregular. I find it highly unlikely. I just don't see it happening. Again, I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I don't think that's how Apple works, fam. So, yeah, the moral of the story here, though, for all of y'all that are creators in the chat, if you ever do have an opportunity to come into your inbox like this, if you have a brand, right, that has a relationship with another brand, and they want to go inside that brand store and have you do filming, right, you need to get confirmation from all the brands involved. In this case, Samson got confirmation from the brand that reached out to him and Apple themselves before he ever went to that Apple store. If you can't get that confirmation, it's a no-go. You tell the brand is off because something is wrong. Because if the brand has that relationship with Apple, then it should not be a problem to get that confirmation from Apple. That's just common sense. If the brand, if Apple is going to be okay with a creator walking into a store to do filming for that other third-party brand, then that third-party brand should be able to get an okay from Apple for that creator to do that filming. That is common sense. And if that brand cannot get that okay from Apple that the creator can see in an email or a phone call or something, hell no, absolutely not. It ain't happening. That's buffoonery. It's just scammy to me. Even though there was no scam that took place there, but it just seems scammy to me. Like, it sounds like, I don't know, I kind of feel like that brand, here's the thing, right? That brand, I think what they wanted to have happen was to have Sam walk in there, cameras rolling, and do the filming anyway, and just hope Apple wouldn't say shit about it. That's what I think they hoped that would have happened, right? Because at that point, it would make the brand look good because they have Sam in the Apple store doing the filming, and then it will make that brand look good that Apple allowed them to have that type of access and content come off of Sam's channel. But it's faking it till you making it because, again, it requires no okay from Apple. It just requires Sam walking into an Apple store with cameras on and just doing the filming, hoping Apple doesn't kick him out. But Apple would not allow that. The moment had he started filming, they would have kicked him out. They would have asked him to leave. So you can't even fake that. I said on my we were talking about this on Twitter this morning, right? And I talked about how this reminds me of creators who used to fake brand deals back in the day on Instagram, right? So you had creators back in the day, and they probably still do this today, but I don't know. But there are sometimes creators that will fake a brand deal. They will make a piece of content talking about a brand, product, or service, and they'll be like, shout out to brand such and such, right? But it won't be any affiliation they have with the brand. It's basically just them buying the brand product and making it look like they have a relationship with the brand when they don't. A fake brand deal. And I know it's kind of crazy because y'all like, really? A fake brand deal, Vyyyper? Yes. Creators have done fake brand deals, y'all. It's kind of crazy. So that's what this sounds like. It sounds like the brand wanted to fake a deal with Apple or fake this project to make them look good to their audience or whatever. And luckily, Sam was smart enough not to do it that way. He wanted confirmation from Apple, which he never got. And the brand probably just expect him to go in there and just film anyway. Nah, man, we need that confirmation, bro. All right. Joseph, honestly, this all sounds like a nothing burger. Someone forgot to send someone an email. Apple isn't mad at him. They probably don't even know he exists. They got bigger problems. At this point, I think they know he exists. They have John Prosser in a court document. So if you tell me that Apple, who is suing John Prosser, doesn't know that Sam exists, they know Sam exists. Okay, they know that Sam exists. So again, that's another thing, right? Like I said, it's not like they're lumping him and Sam together, but Sam was adjacent to John for like what, however long they did Genius Bar. So Apple knows he exists, and they know the type of content that he does, which is another reason why they will probably won't ever allow him into an Apple store to do filming, because they know he does Apple leaks, and Apple hates that shit. So it's been putting two and two together, man. I don't know. Again, I ain't got nothing against. I love Sam. I got nothing against Sam. I like his content, but it's just too many red flags for me. It's like, bro, how did you even get that deep? Like, this should have never got that deep. Like, truth be told, Sam should have never went to the Apple store that day without having confirmation from Apple. Literally, that's the gist of the story. He should have never went to that store without confirmation from Apple directly. That's all. All right. Anybody got any questions or comments about anything before we get up out of here? Feel free to drop them in the chat. Again, I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you for the happy anniversary wishes, man. I can't believe it's been 8 years we've been doing this content thing. I ain't going nowhere. Hopefully I'll be here for another 8, 10, 12. I don't know. But I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Y'all always show up when I go live. So thank you for that, man. Always love coming on here talking to y'all about what's going on in the space, whether it be tech or current events or whatever, man. I appreciate y'all. But if you all got any other questions or comments, feel free to drop them in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to give you your Friday night back. But I appreciate y'all. I love you too, man. Appreciate you. Vyyyper Hobbit. What in the world? Vyyyper Hobbit. That's funny. Cold name, man. Cold name. Man. But yeah, like I said, if y'all don't have any questions or comments, yo, I'm gonna let y'all roll here. Make sure I didn't miss anything before we get up out of here. Make sure I didn't miss anything. I don't think I did. Ooh, each man, you never know. It seems like it's always something going on, yo. It seems like it's always something going on, man. It's always something going on. All right. Well, y'all kind of quiet in the chat, so I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Appreciate you, Janosis, man. Janosis, always good to see you, my guy. Crazy things are going on since Austin. I don't know. We'll see. But y'all be easy. Enjoy your Friday. Again, Happy New Year from your boy. If you need to reach out to me or whatever, or if you want to ask me something, I'm on Twitter, yo. Just find me on Twitter. Y'all know how to find me at this point. But y'all stay safe. Be easy. Happy New Year. Peace.